Let's try casting a couple times. Oh yeah, go cast a swim bait out in Lake Ontario. 4 and 5 foot waves by yourself, late December. Whoa, I don't know if you guys can see this on the camera, but there's birds. There's all these birds here. When you see this kind of stuff going on, this is what they're feeding on. There's alewives and there's smelt, and they look just like this. All these birds that we see flying around are hunting bait like this. So what I've got rigged up here, I've got the Money Minnow, and this is on a 1 ounce football jig with a big 4-aught hook. Pretty stout equipment. This is a bait that guys usually use for largemouth, but there's times when we can get lake trout and brown trout, sometimes salmon to eat these, and it's a ton of fun. So let's see what happens. I'm just gonna try slow rolling it. There could be fish mid-column. I'm pretty deep right now, like I'm in 57 feet, 55 feet right now, and there could be fish anywhere, 5 feet down or right on the bottom. So 66 feet. Slow roll it, easy stuff. Keep it moving. You want to keep your line tight. Feel anything, don't stop, keep going. Sometimes they bump it, sometimes there's like small trout, but this is a big fish bait. There he is, got him. Oh, that's what I'm talking about right there. That thing absolutely clobbered it. Oh, so these aren't just for largemouth. I think I got a big laker. Oh my goodness. Oh. It's not that big. Nice lake trout though. Oh, I should have went barbless. I didn't go barbless. That's great. Okay, that didn't take long. Whew. Wow. Wow. Look at that thing. Check it out. All the bait fell out. There it is there. Whew. First fish right there. Absolutely crushed that Money Minnow. Whew. Amazing. You know what? I'm gonna let him go. We're gonna get more. I'm gonna let you go. Wow. Amazing. Wow. I'll show you real quick what we're using here. Okay, let me flip this over. Whew. Okay, I'm gonna take a second and show you that setup that we're using. That was my first pass through there. Sorry, second pass. These big baits right now, that's what all those birds are doing. There's all kinds of bait fish that are setting up for the winter. They're in this area, and you look for the birds. Obviously below them there's bait and there's fish feeding on that. So I'm gonna show you just how I rig these. It's pretty simple. What I've got is I've got a big hollow belly swim bait. There's a 5-inch hollow belly, and then I've got a 1 ounce football jig here on a 4-aught hook. And I think it's really important to make sure that your hook is big enough for the swim bait that you're throwing. There's a lot of different ways to rig this, but I'm fishing water as deep as up to 80 feet today, and shallow is about 23 feet, and I'm in current. So I need this extra weight for what I'm doing because I want to be able to cover the water column. I want to be able to let it sink to the bottom, but then also reel it through the column just to intercept fish that are chasing bait fish. Okay. Let me show you how I'm rigging these up and how I caught that last fish. So what I'm using is I've got a hollow belly swim bait, and I have a big 4-aught hook with a 1 ounce football jig. Now the jig head size, that's optional. You can go weightless or you can go 2 ounce if you want. But today I'm using a 1 ounce. I want to make sure that I thread this so that it's as straight as possible when the hook comes out. And a good little trick is if you lay your jig before you run it through beside the swim bait, your hook, you can see roughly like where it's going to pop out, and that gives you an idea of when you should make the hook point come through. And it's pretty simple. I just right as centered as possible, go through the nose. You can see that. And I want to thread it all the way until where that reference was. and then push it, simply just push it all the way up. And this has a screw lock on it. I don't twist it on, I just kind of mash it in there. And I find it's really important to have it as straight as possible. It does seem to make a difference. So if you have to redo it a couple times, that's okay. But that's it right there. Adjust your jig head for whatever situation you need. You can go lighter, you can go weightless, you can go heavier than this 1 ounce. I'm throwing it on pretty stout tackle. I wouldn't recommend if you're using this big heavy setup, and this is a big swim bait. This is a bait that a lot of guys use for largemouth bass, and I'm sure people use it for other things too, but trout absolutely love it in the Great Lakes. So anywhere that you have alewife or smelt or larger bait fish, and you have trout present, brown trout, steelhead, lake trout, this is a deadly bait whenever you find those pods of bait. I'm using a medium heavy bait caster. That's optional. You can use a heavy action or a medium heavy spinning rod, but I'm using a medium heavy bait caster and spooled with straight 20-pound fluorocarbon. So it's a really fun bite, but it's important that you have the right equipment, not only to throw the lure, but also to handle the fish, because some of these guys, they can get pretty big. Kind of excited. I think we're gonna get a few of these. What? Oh! I can't swear. Got bit. Missed him. Whew. We have a chance. We have a chance to couple of these. I'm gonna get another one. I think it. I'm pretty jacked right now. It's not very often you come out here late December and actually cast without it being like too cold. Like, it's too cold. Usually you get ice. I get a little bit of ice now, but it's not that bad. If I have to jig, I'll jig too, because you can jig this. That's the other cool thing. Like, you don't have to cast and wind it. You can drag it. Oh, I lost one. No, again. Oh, I gotta reel into him. Oh, I had one. Oh, he smoked it. Slow down, Paul. Pretty excited right now. Braid would really help too, but sometimes when it's cold, the problem if you use straight braid or with a fluoro leader, it freezes too fast if you're casting. So I do like using mono in the winter, and I do like using fluorocarbon, but you do sacrifice some of the sensitivity, that's for sure. Pretty simple method. I bomb it out there, I close my bail, I let it drop. You can count it down as much as you want. 1 second, 5 seconds, play around, let it go right to the bottom. It really depends. But right now, I just keep varying the depth. I'm letting it sink all the way down, and then I just slow roll it, like nothing fancy. Just slow, steady retrieve. Again. I got him. Oh yeah, I got him. Just crushed that thing. Oh, man, that is a fun, super fun bite. So that grass shot we just took, you saw the bait was up high. That last cast, I just left it a little higher in the column. So the only way to do that is just start reeling right away. So that's the one thing I do like about the big jig, is you can kind of control the depth. Okay. Oh, I got him. Yes. Here we go. Man, that is a fun bite. Oh, the jig's out. That jig's out already. There it is right there. Whew. Fish is in the water. He's okay. That's the bait right there. Little guy. Whoa, and that's the fish right there. That's awesome. Awesome bite. Oh my gosh. See you, buddy. Man, that's fun. Seriously. I don't know if you guys can see this because the sun's right there, but that is one awesome bite. Destroyed my swim bait. I'm actually pumped, like I'm vibrating. I know I say that a lot, but that's really cool. casting and winding for big lake trout. My goodness. Now we just need a big one. One big one. That's all we need. That's it. You know, let us think a bit. Bring it home. You know, sometimes I'll let it drop, whatever, 5 seconds or right to the bottom, and just do this until I feel like I'm about halfway, and then I'll kill it again. Let it sink, but on a tight line. The other thing I find helps a lot is if I point my rod tip right at the bait. Oh, I just got smashed as the bait was falling. You gotta be kidding me. Man. Okay, another thing that I find helps a lot when you're doing this style of fishing is you want to make sure your hook's always sharp. So carry a file. It's so easy to do. You know, once you're bumping bottom or if you set the hook on a few fish, just take that file, you know, run it across that point a few times, either side. Check your line above the knots for any damage. But I find that is a huge help, having your hook as sharp as possible. So pay attention to that and carry a good file. Oh, he hit it reeling up. I missed it. Oh, gosh, smoked it on the reel. So let that one drop all the way down like 60 something feet. And that fish just grabbed it maybe 10 feet down. Look, he made a mess of it. Brutal. Missed him. Missed him. Missing them. Happy I'm getting the bite. Gotta get a big one. Well, one big one. It's not too much to ask before it gets too rough. Let's try something a little different. You know, the other thing, that one fish crashed it pretty good. I dropped it straight down, like 65 feet or something, went all the way to the bottom, and then I just started like reeling it straight up through the column, and he smoked it. There he is. Oh, 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 I came off. Ooh, keep dropping them. I don't believe that. Maybe I'm pulling too hard? Oh, man. Why are they coming off? Got a good hook on him too. There he is, under the boat. I just dropped it down. Oh, that's a good bite. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I love that you can just give him the gears with this heavy tackle. Man. Oh, I think I got a good one. I got a good one. Not a bad fish. Oh man, that is a blast. If you've never tried bass tackle, you know, and swim baits like these ones here, for big lakers, I'm telling you, it is a ton of fun in open water. Ton of fun. Man, oh, that's a big one. That's a good one. Oh, getting bigger. Getting bigger. Oh. There it is right there. Check out the yap on that guy. So if you've never done swim baits on bass tackle, you really, really want to give it a shot. It is a ton of fun. You know, there's windows of opportunity to do this. Probably if you live anywhere near the Great Lakes or inland lakes for that matter, but they love bass tackle. It's the same stuff that people are using for ice fishing in Southern Ontario. And most people troll for them or they jig traditional spoons, but that casting and reeling, either throwing it as far as you can, letting it fall in the column and working it back, or the other way how I got those fish to bite was dropping it straight down in deep water once I hit bottom and then reeling it steady up through the water column. Deadly, deadly technique. Look for the bait fish, look for the birds, get yourself some of those swim bait. It is a blast. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple minutes. I wanna show you guys what to look for if you want to try targeting these lakers with swim baits. You know, they love to eat, they need to be around forage. They just finished their spawn, and a lot of these fish are just putting the feed on. And places that I usually find these fish this time of year is they love to be around these long extending points, shoals, especially if they're close to deep water. We fished as deep as 77 feet today, and as shallow as about 18 feet. And the water temperature is 40 degrees. And I didn't spend too much time in one area, but once I did locate those birds and that bait fish, I just kept working the area over and over. It's a good idea to put a waypoint down if you mark fish or you see bait, and give that area a shot. You know, you could try casting on top of the highest spots around you, from the highest spot off of them, or I like to run these breaks. A lot of times these breaks like this, you know, I'll do the 50 foot, 30 foot, 20 foot, etc. Those will be highways, you know, and bait fish will be moving up and down them. The lake trout will not be far behind this time of year, so you're actually going to be looking for things like this. So that's a mark there from a fish. There's probably bait in this area. We're not far off of the shoal, so I'm actually going to hit mark right now. Boom. So I'm going to drop a waypoint, and that's going to give me a reference where I saw this guy. And then I'm going to give this area, you know, 15, 20, 30 minutes just to see if I can expand on it. But electronics are key out here. Pay attention to your graph for any clues. Bait fish, fish swimming by, fish on the bottom. Where are they in the column? Those are things that I start with, and you can apply this anywhere. Inland lakes or the Great Lakes, electronics are key for this offshore swim bait fishing for these lake trout.